welcome to another teacher talk session tonight. And tonight we are going to have another educator from different part of the world. And tonight we are going to have our 148th session with an ESL teacher, coach, and coach, Christina Lynn Smith. And when she comes, we are going to start our live session with her. I think she is here, so she has already sent me an invitation. So let me accept it. When she comes, we are going to start. I'm waiting for her to join. I have accepted her invitation. It takes time. Let me check again. Yeah, I know. I accepted, Christina. I'm just waiting for her to open. Just a moment. Just wait. I will send you an invitation. Now accept it, please. Yes. Hello. It's nice to see you.
Hi,
Hi,
you
Christina.
too.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much and for accepting my invitation to Teacher Talks. It's really great to see you here in the 448th session. It's a great pleasure to have you. Thank you, Christina.
Awesome. Thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. And if you're ready, we can start because I know we are all busy.
And whenever
Sure.
you're ready.
Okay. So, yes, Christina, I know about you, but maybe our followers would like to know about you. So, can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Sure. So I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, but I've been outside of the US for around 11 years.
Wow.
I lived for 9 years in South America, and I've been living in the Canary Islands of Spain now for 2 years. So
Nice.
living the island life. And in terms of my experience, I've been teaching English since 2010. First in person, and then right as COVID was coming, I was making the shift to going full-time online. So I've been full-time online now for almost 4 years.
I see. And now you're here then.
Now we're here.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. So, my next question is about your experiences, about your own education. What was or were your turning point or points in your own education?
I think the biggest one was when I finished my master's degree. I realized that the plan that I had made for myself was not what I wanted to do. It originally had nothing to do with teaching English. My undergrad is in graphic design, and I got my MBA so that I could open my own design firm. But
Oh,
then I started teaching during my graduate degree, and I fell in love with teaching, and I thought it was amazing. So when I finished my MBA, I decided this isn't what I want to do. I want to go teach. So,
ah, I
yeah,
see.
I left.
It's interesting. That's a nice turning point. Good. Thank you. And you mentioned that you have been teaching for a long time, and probably in your career, you have tried different strategies, different methods, different techniques in your teaching, and probably you have a philosophy of teaching. So what is it? What is your philosophy of teaching?
First of all, personalization. I work with a lot of adults, so for me, that is really key to personalize my classes for my students. To laugh. Learning a language is so difficult. You have to have fun, joke a little bit, smile, laugh at yourself when you make
Exactly.
mistakes. And the last one is to create a safe space for students to feel safe to make mistakes, to practice as they need to and get that rehearsal that they don't get in everyday conversation.
Mm-hmm. I see. You mentioned that, like, if I'm not a mistakes shows that we are learning. We can say that you support it. Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. And Christina, you know that we are educators, and in our, the educator career, probably education life, we have some, the bad times, some good times, some failed times, and some success times. So probably, and you have also successful stories. What I'm gonna ask you, can you tell us one, maybe two success stories of yours, something inspirational if you have?
Sure. When I moved to South America, I started teaching in a business that I wasn't happy with.
Uh-huh.
I sent my CV all over the place, and I was offered an amazing opportunity to open a branch of an institute that was looking to expand their reach within the country. My Spanish was not up to professional level Spanish to speak to HR people, but they gave me a shot, and I learned how to grow a business from the bottom up, not just once, but twice, because when I got pregnant and I went on maternity leave, the people in charge of keeping my side of things running kind of dropped the ball. And
Uh-huh.
I had to rebuild relationships in business again once I came back. But it was a job that I successfully completed for 7 years, and I was very happy with the success of my branch and position within the company and how well we were able to do as a team.
Mm-hmm. I see. It's a nice story. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Christina. And you have, if I'm not wrong, you're a mentor. You support teachers, and in this time, probably you have lots of training sessions and presentations and etc. When you think about them, what was or were the most, the interesting situation or situations that you faced?
I'm going to be completely honest. So, yes, I do, let's say I do and kind of did mentor teachers. So, the original idea for the teacher mentor in this business was to do that, to mentor teachers. The original goal was to be successful in finding work, to finding good companies, to being successful in your career, to planning good lessons. However, when I started off in the industry and started launching digital courses and offerings, it wasn't well received within the industry. Maybe because of saturation of a lot of coaches and mentors trying to do similar things, but there were grateful people watching, but not enough for it to continue to be something viable. So I'm expanding the business. The business is now turning not only to mentor teachers, but to kind of build a business where I want to set the bar for the industry
I
of
see. Mm-hmm.
hiring teachers. So I will be hopefully being able to gain my own students and just have a small
Mm,
business with a small team of teachers and help develop those. I will still continue to share things with my community, with my followers, with all the students that I can help and teachers as well. But
mm-hmm.
the business is expanding in that way that I want to kind of turn back to the students, but also in turn be able to help teachers. There's a lot of teachers that can't get jobs because of the passport that they hold, or because maybe they don't have a college education, or they didn't get the right TOEFL certificate, but maybe they have lots of experience. So that will
Mm-hmm.
open up doors for students to get more,
I
a wide variety of
see.
styles of teachers. And
Mm-hmm.
I can also help them train and professionally develop.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Christina. And my next question is related with the one that I asked you. Like, we know that you're a mentor, but maybe you would like that and other things. Like, how do you help them? How do you help teachers? And actually, what do teachers expect to get from you? And how do they reach you to get help from you? What should they do? And in every time you help them, do you become successful about it?
Am I always successful? It depends on what they are asking for help with. In
I
getting
see.
them a job, It's tough. It's a really oversaturated market right now. And so finding good, viable work for people, even some of the best people, is kind of difficult at the moment. But in terms of helping them find the resources that they need, helping them learn how to use technologies or find planning tools that they need, that I would definitely say is something I'm very successful in doing, and teaching them how to manage classes effectively, how to keep students engaged.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. And when you think about language teachers, what are the most important qualities or skills a successful language teacher should possess? What is your idea? What do you think?
I think in terms of qualities, number one, you have to be flexible and adaptable.
Hmm.
Flexible to what students need and adaptable to if your plan falls apart and does not work in a class, you need to be able to change it at a moment's notice. And then I also think that you need to be patient and have a bit of empathy. But if we're talking about skills, experience, number one, in some shape or form of gaining experience on how to educate, and some sort of education or development. I'm a firm believer that continuous professional development is key, especially today in our industry with AI and technology and
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
tools. It's essential.
Uh-huh. I see. Our job is getting really tough and difficult.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. And what I'm gonna ask, you are a mentor and you support teachers. And do you do this always face to face or do you do this online? And if you do it online, how should the people reach you? What should they do to reach you and to get from help from you?
Most people reach out to me via social media. I do have a website. It's doing the current expansion right now set up, but most people reach me through messaging on social media and ask me for help that way.
Mm-hmm. And do you give course online also as a mentor?
Sometimes I hold webinars. I do a bit of a mix, either webinars or pre-recorded training sessions where
Oh, I
I
see.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
demonstrate how tools or functions work. I recently did one on using ChatGPT to plan lessons and content for adult classes.
Mm-hmm.
And it
I
was
see.
a kind of a short, like 15-minute recording.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so, sometimes especially for the new teachers, it's really, difficult to create a student-centered classroom environment. So
Mhm.
they face really difficulties that sometimes they do, but sometimes they can't. So what strategies do you suggest for creating this environment that promotes active language learning for them? What are your suggestions?
For me, my biggest tool is what I call co-creation of lesson plannings and topics. It's not just about personalizing it to their hobbies or to their job, but also getting the students involved actively in the kind of content that they want to see in their lessons. Also makes them feel like more part of the process, and therefore they become also more engaged in the class.
Uh-huh.
Also, sometimes it can be difficult getting carried away with our talk time, student talk time versus teacher talk time. So there are also tools. Sometimes I find that I need to use it myself to make sure that I minimize my talk time and I'm maximizing my student talk time to see my records during or after a class and where that stands.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you for your suggestions. Thank you, Christina. And you know that we are in a kind of a technological era, but sometimes it's real difficult to follow it. We also face real difficulties because we go to sleep and then we wake up and lots of technological things happen during that time. So sometimes we face real difficulties to follow it. But how do you do that? How do you stay updated with the latest developments and trends in education?
My husband would say it's because I never put my phone down and stopped reading social media, probably. Really, I try to reach out to network with creators, with follow the right people, try new tools constantly. I'm always reading, watching videos. I have a couple of YouTube subscriptions to new AI technology that comes out. So I have so many screenshots of software that I want to try saved in my phone that there's just not enough hours of time to get to them all.
I see. Thank you. And you just mentioned AI. Yes, AI is very popular, especially,
Hmm.
when we look at it for a couple months, it's really become really popular, and it's maybe in all the areas around of us we can see something related with the AI. So how does AI affect adult English learners and educators? Let's focus on this if it's okay for you.
Sure. There are, of course, positives and negatives, right?
Sure.
There's the improper use, right? Letting it do the job for you, getting lazy, dependence on it. But I think it's our job also as educators to teach
Uh-huh.
them how to use it as a tool. So I really encourage students to use technology. Look up a word if you need to look up a word, right? And use things as a tool. If you're going to use something to write emails for you, every time you use it, take one thing away from it that you've learned so that it becomes a learning experience and not just doing your job for you. So I think that if we can continue to do that, especially for adults. There's a lot of buzz right now around the K through 12 education sector.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rules? What's acceptable? What's not? But there's a huge gap in adult education. All the tools, all the lesson planning creators that are out there, they're all for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So where are the adults things? They're mixed up in a million different little tools, the interview planner, the email helper, the personal assistant helper, but there's nothing
Exactly.
kind of all in one to help for adult learners.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. And what about my next question also is related with the education. Like, how do you implement new technology into your classes or training sessions for your teachers?
So for teachers, training them so far right now just through webinars and personal recorded classes. As the business grows, I hope to do more of that because I really would
Mm-hmm.
like to implement more technology and innovation to keep students engaged, not just during class, but outside of class. For me personally, what I've done recently, I've used AI to have students give me descriptions of, I don't know, a city or something and put it into an AI and have it create the picture and compare it to see how it matches their idea while in class. I've
Mm-hmm.
used the negotiator tool to help students practice their negotiation skills. And sometimes when I just have a question about something that is very specific for my students, it's not something that I can just Google.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. And what I'm gonna ask, we talk about AI, but what about VR? VR also is very important and takes really part, like with the incorporation of VR in like video conferencing, or how will
Mm-hmm.
this change online ESL instructions? It's getting really popular also, but in the future it becomes more popular. But what is your idea about it?
I took a position with a company late last year that actually gave me the opportunity and experience to teach in virtual reality.
Mm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
my VR goggles and
Yeah,
everything.
wow, it's great.
I'm really interested in it. I don't think it's a solution for all classes, every class, but I definitely think it's great for a supplement to extra classes. It's a way to bring in that hands-on approach. I recently saw some news that Microsoft Teams has integrated an application
Oh.
in VR to match with their team meetings, so you can meet
Mm-hmm.
in VR with your teams, which I think is
Wow,
amazing. So if Microsoft Teams is already implementing it in, I imagine this is just the first step of where it's heading.
I see. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be really interesting. But I don't think so. It's gonna be like, the in real classrooms.
No, I don't think so. There's also a lot of things to fix about it. The glasses are a bit heavy. To wear them for long periods of time, it can be a bit uncomfortable without the right headset. Also, there's the dizziness from disorientation and movement in certain applications.
Yes,
So there's some
exactly.
technological things that need to be advanced, but it's great for fun little activities and a creative way to teach.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. We are teachers and we love teaching. So, but in your opinion, what is the most rewarding aspect of teaching teachers and helping them improve their skills in English language instruction? Actually, the main question is, what is the most rewarding aspect for you?
Seeing them successful
Uh-huh.
is a big thing for me, but also it's not just the success of the teachers, it's knowing that the skills that they're getting, the things that they're learning aren't just for them, it's not just their benefit, it's also for the students because essentially we provide a service, we're teachers, but we
Exactly.
provide an educational
Mm-hmm.
service and we should want to do our best. So if I can give them those skills to be them themselves, then their students are also receiving that best service.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you. Just seeing them successful, that's the big reward for us. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Christina. And by the way, if you have any questions to Christina, you can write them into the question part. There's a question button. If you just write there, I can divert your questions to Christina if you have. But sometimes they write a comment. When you write your questions into the comment bar, sometimes we can miss it while she's talking and while I'm asking the questions, maybe we can miss it. But just write that and I can ask her if you have any questions. Okay,
Sure.
so let's move to the next question. And so what I'm gonna ask, there are lots of, the new teachers, the new beginners, and they're very excited about it, and sometimes they don't know, they're very surprisingly when they go to the classrooms. But what advice would you give to them, the who are just starting their teaching careers?
Never be afraid to say that you don't know something.
Mm-hmm.
It is a simple, humble quality and thing to remember. It gives you an opportunity to learn something new, which you should all the time. And it also shows your students that not one person knows everything. It is okay
Yeah.
to not have the answer to something and come back to it at a later date.
Yeah,
Totally fine.
exactly. But there's a kind of an idea like, oh, if you're a teacher, you should know everything. No, there is
No.
nothing to do about it. If okay, I'm a teacher, but I'm not a kind of encyclopedia. I'm not. Sometimes lots of things that I don't know, especially
Yeah.
maybe something that happened that I don't know in the classroom. So as you mentioned here, that like I should have a chance to say I don't know. So just maybe not directly I don't know. Okay, I will tell you the answer maybe tomorrow. Just like let's skip this right now, but I can give an answer tomorrow. We can
Exactly.
easily have a chance to say this. But sometimes students think that, but you're a teacher and you should know it. But it's not in my, interest. So how can I know it? Sometimes they ask different questions that you don't know.
Exactly. Sometimes I have to stop and Google something and say, you know what? That's a really great question. I have no idea. Let me look. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. The time flies, Chris. Just a couple questions, the left, by the way, to ask to you. Yeah, when you think about your future, like for example, after 10 years, like how do you see yourself in 10 years? Will you still be a teacher, a trainer, or are you gonna try another job or jobs?
I hope, I hope to see myself with a small business. I'm not trying to compete with any of the big guys. I want my own little nuggets of happiness here with my own small company with a great small team of teachers. Probably still teach a little bit, but less. I would like to create some time to maybe enjoy life, my family a little bit, the little island that I live on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's with fingers crossed and all positive things coming in the future.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. In our life, there are times that we face real difficulties, and at that times probably we say, oh, I wish I could that power so I could do that easily, or I wish I could this power so I could do that this easily. But when you think about this into your lessons, if you could have one superpower to use it in your lessons, what would it be, and how would it help you?
I struggled with this question when I saw this come up. I thought, my goodness, what is my superpower going to be? Because normally my superpower is to eat whatever I want and never get fat, but that doesn't really apply to English
That's a
classes.
that's nice one.
So I thought about this one. I decided that to be able to read minds and in any language and understand.
Oh,
How many times
nice.
do you get a student that like says, yeah, I understand. But if you could read their minds, they probably say, I have no idea what she just said. Right? So if I could know that when they say that, it would probably make things a little bit easier. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I see. It's a nice one. But the first one was much better, your superpower. You want to
Yes.
never get fat. That's really nice one.
Be
That's
really
really
great.
because
Yeah. It
exactly.
doesn't
It's a
help my
nice one.
students or teachers, but it helps me wonderfully.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. So think that Christina will finish our conversation and you go outside of your house and find a lottery tickets ending with $10 million. What would you do?
The first thing I would do is fly back to the US for a visit.
Oh, I
I have
see.
actually not been there in 11 years, which is, I know, kind of sad, but I would go back to visit for a month.
Uh-huh.
Then I would probably set up my business better with a team of people that could do things for me, but so I'm not doing everything on my own, and take more vacations.
Oh, take more vacations. Nice. Where do you wanna go?
Yes. Everywhere.
Everywhere in the world,
Everywhere, yes.
except Spain. Yeah.
I would like to see the other islands and things, but I'm right next to Africa. I would love to go see Africa as well. Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's interesting.
Turkey is on
Okay,
my
great.
list. Also
Oh,
Istanbul.
Istanbul, you should definitely see. You're welcome. You're always welcome. Come and
I hear
see
it's
the beautiful
beautiful with
Istanbul.
amazing food.
Exactly. You should try. Don't worry. You will love it. Maybe you change your mind and not go back to Spain to your island, and you're gonna stay in Istanbul.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, I just said time flies, and now it's time to ask you the last question, Christina. Are you ready for
Sure.
it? And the most difficult one. Here we go.
Mhm.
What is your motto?
Okay, so I don't know if this is a forever for life motto, but I read this really amazing article about kind of New Year's resolutions, why they fail, and it gave this really great suggestion that created a kind of motto for me this year. It said that you should find nudge words, words that kind of gently push you in the direction and mindset that you want to be in for your year. So my motto this year is happiness and success,
I see. Thank
in
you. Thank
whatever
you very
form that
much.
is. That's it.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina. Okay, and that's all my question, Christina. And thank you very much. And before ending our live session, Christina, would you like to add anything else?
Just to say thank you very much for everybody who has been stopping in, saying hi, and for you for contacting me just out of the blue to say, hey, you want to join me? Yeah, it was really awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to say one more time, thank you very much, Christina, for being with us and for your ideas, for your advices and suggestions, and especially the most important thing, your time. You spent your time here with us. That's really great for us. Thank you. And Christina Lynn Smith was with us tonight with Teacher Talks 148, and we are going to be here next week and at the same time on the same day, as you know. And until that time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And take care of yourselves, everybody, and take care of yourself, Christina. And until next time, bye bye, everybody. Bye bye, Christina, and peace.
Bye bye.
Bye.